Welcome to our channel. Born in the beautiful spotless for Monday, November the 25th. Shauna is there for Rich when Brooke is not. Thomas taunts Brooke to come clean with Rich. Thomas has a point to prove. Rich laments to Shauna about Thomas. Thomas Forrester will have a point to prove. As B&B viewers know, Thomas has just made himself known to Hope Logan. Hope was lamenting the fact that Thomas was dead and that she was likely going to go to prison for killing him when he emerged through the door of her room. B&B spoilers. Will Thomas Forrester offer forgiveness to Hope Logan? But what point did Thomas want to prove? Well, given that he's emerged from the shadows on the ground of Brooke Forrester mansion, it's likely that Thomas has been eavesdropping on Hope from within the mansion. And if that's the case, then he would know all about Brooke urging Hope to cover up his death from the falling into the acid. That will, of course, leave Thomas angry with Brooke, but he'll probably also have heard Hope tell Brooke that she was going to come forward with the truth and that she wouldn't lie about what happened, despite the consequences. Thomas may have found himself feeling endeared toward Hope, and so the point he wants to prove might be that he and Hope need each other. Born in the beautiful swallows. Will Hope Logan and Thomas Forrester call a truce? Of course, B&B's viewers know that Hope's heart is with Liam Spencer, but Thomas has long wanted Hope to be a mother to Douglas Forrester. Perhaps he'll think that he and Hope should call a truce and hit the reset button on their relationship. Given that growing B&B spoilers say that Hope and Thomas will tell Douglas together that she's his new mother, and it seems that they may reach an understanding. Meanwhile, on Friday news episode of B&B, Rich Forrester will tell Shauna Fenton that he may not have lost Thomas after all. As B&B viewers know, Rich has received a lot of support from Shauna in the past several weeks. She's been there for him when Brooke has not, and it looks like he'll go to her once again with details about the problem he's having. B&B spoilers. Shauna Fenton offers her support. The Born and the Beautiful spoilers indicate that viewer can expect Shauna to patiently listen to Rich, and he laments about his family, in particular Thomas, and about the state of his marriage to Brooke. There will also be a bit of flirting going on per usual, which shouldn't come as a big surprise, given how much chemistry Shauna and Rich have. According to B&B spoilers, Rich will confide in Shauna that he fears he has lost Thomas forever. Of course, he won't know about how close Thomas came to losing his life during his dangerous encounter with Hope. Rather, he'll be talking about Thomas having lost his way in life. It looks like Shauna will reassure Rich and make him see that things may be bad with Thomas now, but that the situation is temporary. Rich begs Steffi to be a better parent than he was. Rich Forrester will have a tender moment with his daughter, Steffi Forrester. Rich is worried about his daughter and granddaughter, and he urges her to be a better parent than he was and to put Kelly Spencer first, no matter what. It's clear that Thomas Forrester and Steffi's upbringing is heavy on Rich's mind, as he worries about his son's future and mental status. Here's what to expect in the next 2 weeks on B&B. Rich Forrester failed his children. When Thomas and Steffi were little, all they wanted was their dad to be at home with them and their mother, Taylor Haynes. But it never faced Rich, as he left them to be with Brooke Logan and have a child with her. Even so, it is a decision that haunts Rich, as he feels some responsibility for Thomas' mental issues, and he wants to find a way to make it better. Brooke believes that there is no way to make this better. She thinks that Thomas is a lost cause and that there is nothing that will make him better. What she fails to say is Thomas is Richie's son. He sees the good in him, just like she sees the good in her kids. All he wants is Thomas to get better and live a happy and balanced life. But right now, Thomas needs help. What he doesn't need is his wife to attack his son and suggest he should throw him to the wolves and never look back. Rich Forrester wants Thomas to recover. In a tender moment, Rich tearfully tells his daughter to be a better parent than he was. He told her to put her daughter first and not to let any outside source destroy her child. These are things that weigh heavily on his mind after his drama with Brooke Thomas. Shauna makes her intentions clear. Born in Beautiful fans were all shocked to see Thomas after seeing him fall into a vat of acid and die. There is no way he got out there when he fell, and we've all been watching as Hope dealt with his death by lying to everyone but her mother all week. It's been a rough week, but there he was all up in Hope's life, showing her he is not dead and that things are not always what they seem. He's making a point to her. He's actually making many points to her in this moment, but the big one we see is that she knew that someone's child was dead, and she chose to lie about it rather than to tell the truth because it suited her needs in life more than it did not. She did the same thing, almost as he did to her when it came to the home baby situation, and he is not wrong to point that out. Meanwhile, Rich might not know his son is here and not gone, as he suspects that he has run off and left light behind now that his son is not his own to keep anymore, but he suspects that he might not be gone forever. Of course, he doesn't know that he is dead, but that is not a problem, since he is clearly not a dead man. But he did have to watch a Rich share his happy information with none other than Shauna. Might we remind everyone that he is not married to her even though he has feelings for her and knows he has feelings for him. He's not doing himself or his marriage any favors, but he also doesn't seem to care all that much. This is a bigger problem than we thought. What's next on Born and Beautiful? Brooke is a woman who will always put her daughter before she puts anyone else, and today is going to be one of those days when that is going to backfire on her more than it usually does. It's something that will make things more complicated than it needs to be, but she's that kind of girl. She's going to do things that are going to make the world a more uncomfortable place where she lives. She's going to refuse to be there for her husband in the wake of this devastating news that his son is missing. Remember, he might have shown up on Hope's doorstep very much not missing or dead, but he did not show up on his father's. Brooke will not be there for Rich when it appears that his life is falling apart. But Shauna will be there for him. She will be there. She will be there to make him happy, to make him feel good. She will be there to get the world to work for her as the way that it works for everyone else. And she will be there to make the best of the best. She's a woman who is trying hard to make this man her own. And Brooke is making it very easy on Shauna to be there for him in this moment. It's not good, but this is what it is, and we can't help but notice things are taking an ugly turn for her, and it is entirely her own fault. Wyatt's major life declarations after Sally's faux pas, Con's off wedding, returns to Flora. While Spencer makes a major life declaration. It, it happens after Sally Spectre misspeaks during a wedding planning conversation with her fiance. Could it mean it is the end of the relationship, leading Wyatt to rekindle his romance with Flora Fenton? B&B spoilers indicated Flora donating a kidney to Katie Logan really spoke volumes to Wyatt, even though she didn't do it for attention or applause. She received her own gift from the experience, the forgiveness, the respect from the man she still loved, Wyatt Spencer. Wyatt Spencer torn. It is revealed that Wyatt becomes torn between the two women after learning about the kidney donation. At first, he told himself that nothing had changed and he was going to marry Sally. However, a conversation with Spencer turned out to be quite eye-opening. It was only then that he realized that he was still in love with Flora. He hasn't said anything about his conflicted heart to either woman, at least not yet. Sally Spectre faux pas. The Born a Beautiful spoiler teased that later this week, Sarah misspeaks and whatever she says has a big effect on the relationship. Her words must have something to do with Flora. Instead of Wyatt not saying anything or trying to change the subject, he will make a big decision that could have long-term consequences for Sally. B&B spoilers, major life decision. It is implied that Wyatt makes a huge life decision. It isn't confirmed what exactly it is, but it must have something to do with his conflicted feeling between Sally and Flora. Some fans believe that Sally's statement really rubs Wyatt the wrong way and he's had enough. It could be the straw that breaks the camel's back, which might lead him right back to Flora's arms. What do you think is going to happen with this storyline? Will Wyatt end up staying with Sally, or could her improper statement push him back to his former flame, Flora Fenton?